I don't like gay people. Lads and ladies. My lads and lard balls. My hoes and homos. Owners of both genitalia. Welcome to the internet. Not a fan. Not of the internet. Not of the people on it. That's a lie. But gay people. Really. Goddamn cat. Really not a fan of them. Too many ugly ones. That's the real issue here. I mean, generally. Just people. Generally. But there's a lot of weird... He's trying to get in. This is why I created this structure, is to keep the beast at bay. He can't get in here. That's literally the only reason why I've lifted my bed up 3 feet off the ground and constructed a safe space within it. All you Twitter retards, this is what a safe space actually looks like. It is a domicile underneath your bed. Now, there is nothing worse than a very well-groomed 30-year-old gay man that is slightly overweight and wears lipstick and mascara. Nothing. Nothing worse. Why? Dude. Like, these are the individuals that have gone through twink death, that no longer have what it takes to procure engagement on Grindr. These are the ones that have to shift their strategy from prey to predator. Whoa. Not that they're groomers or anything. Of course not. Nobody ever makes that joke on the internet. But, I don't know, really rubs me the wrong way. A lot of the flamboyant individuals. Not a fan. You know, mostly I'm trying to see if I can actually get anything with a title like this. Views-wise. Because I'm not cracking any views, and I know that I can usually... farm some engagement with a title like this. So, what I did was I came on here looking really fruity, and I said that I don't like gay people. So obviously somebody's going to go into the comments and tell me that that 30-year-old man is going to be me in 10 years. Obviously. But that is not the case. Because I have no intentions of yassifying. You know what I'm saying? I don't get what the preoccupation is with these fake voices. Like, if you're gonna choose a fake voice, at least do a good one. Like, an Australian accent. Or, dude, a Mexican accent. That shit's funny when it comes out of a white person. And I'm not saying to go for, like... what am I saying? Go for the most interesting one that you can. If you're trying to stand out, right? I know that you guys are thirsty for attention. Just absolutely starved of it. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you were, and that's why you started this behavior. Now you're drowning in it, and you can't get enough of it. And then it cycles and perpetuates the behavior that is just so goddamn irritating. Like, I swear to God, your voices sound like there's a cheese grater on the inside of my ears. You know the little snail that lives in there? That motherfucker's getting raped when in the vicinity. If it's not a sex crime, it is violent assault. I have trouble with this. There's no need to be doing all that. Please. I know it's not your real voice. I know it's not. Maybe you've been doing it for so long that you forgot what your real voice sounded like. But that's not the same thing. The older you get, the more irritating you are. And actually, there's a threshold that the younger you are, also the more irritating it is. Because when I see teenagers doing the gay voice, it rubs me even worse. Like, it irritates me so much that I honestly wish that you guys never got rights. But I mean, hey, if women can vote, then you can ride dick, am I right? Fair trade. You know, that used to be their profession. Now you're taking over. And now they're taking our jobs. So who's really winning? Who really got the rights? Did you want power as a man? The ability to shape history? Or did you want to ride cock? That's what it really comes down to, you know that, right? Now, this may just be schizophrenic rambling, or it could be complete truth. We will see in 10 years when things shape out. Could be 20. Could be 25 years. Either way. This opinion is not yet to the age of consent. Will it age poorly or well? Will it achieve twink death, or shall it go on to live a happy and prosperous life and adopt a child that will also suspiciously turn out gay? This is hateful rhetoric. And this is not coming from inside the closet. This is coming from underneath the bed. This is your bed. I'm underneath it. Welcome. I'm sorry for the smoke. Vapor. I know, you'd probably prefer cigarette smoke. We can work on that. Point being, motherfuckers, you assholes are really annoying. And I wouldn't even notice this if they weren't constantly in my DMs. What am I going to do for you? You are no longer a twink. You are unfuckable. Your worst dreams have been realized, and now the twink is making fun of you on the internet. This used to be you. This would age fantastically if I just gained like 50 pounds of fat, lost all my muscle, and then became really degenerate. That would age well. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? I'd be eating my own words. Isn't that what you're commenting? Something along those lines. Can we just admit that the predominantly flamboyant strain of homosexuals are incredibly fucking irritating? It's not wholesome. It's not like happy-go-lucky. I mean, gay used to mean like happy and whimsical, and you're just like passive-aggressive and irritating. I don't get it. When I'm on camera, I'm living up to the standard of what these homosexuals put forward, which is irritating, pissed off all the time, and molding about life and the way that the world treats me and whatnot. But when I'm in real world, I'm very gay, happy, whimsical, even. I watched the sunrise this morning while huffing on some nicotine, and I tell you what, I was incredibly whimsical. Now, give the word back. You don't live up to it. It's like, if we're going to be controversial, I might as well say it. You're supposed to like men, not women. Why do you act like them? And I don't mean in a stereotypical way or like a funny way. I mean like the most irritating parts of women that people complain about. That's what you embody now. The flamboyance, the dumb bitch bimbo energy, getting pissed off at everything that people say about anything related to something that you vaguely support. Those are the qualities that you took on. Sex is your entire personality. Like, we went from thinking that it was like a revolution for rights, and now it's just sex privilege. Like, imagine if everybody was so irritating about their sexual preferences all the time. It's insane to think about. It's crazy. I mean, like, I don't even know. Because it feels like the sexual preference of gay men has shifted from men to something vaguely resembling men. You know what I'm saying? I don't dig it. I mean, I get why they came up with all these gender identities that the rightoids complain about. Is that what they're called? The chuds, the chud logics, the whatever. Because when I look at this brand, I do mean brand, you look like you should be on a Coke bottle. This brand of individual, I don't think that's a man that likes men. I think that is likely to be an irritating person that I would not want to get a drink with, spend time around. And why are they always drinking? Why are they always drunk? There's like a crossover between this brand of homosexual and alcoholism. It's like getting drunk off whatever, usually like hard liquor or wine. Nothing fun. Just something to get shit-faced, so then you don't notice how much weight you've put on since you were 18. This is mean, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. But it's been like ruminating for so long. And nobody's actually pointed out the obvious. I mean, besides when they're making jokes, but it's actually kind of irritating. Like, there is a phenotype of individual here that I genuinely do not like. This is the kind of person that says live and let live, and then they live as though no one else exists, and then complain about the way that other people live, complain about the way that other people see that the way that they live, but it's all just a perception in their head about the way that people think that they are, which turns it into a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then people start paying attention, because then they just try to become more obnoxious about it and put it out there, so then they can point to the self-fulfilling prophecy and be like, look at this guy, he's irritating. They'll be like, No, I'm just gay. Do you hate gay people? What are you, homophobic? That's so 2016. Kill you. Oof. See, I've even got a trigger response on my filters for this one. That's how deep it goes. Somebody needs to say it how it is. This is just an irritating brand of individual. Irritating, irritating, irritating. They went and got a life. They have lives. I'll give them that. But they chose an irritating one. To all of you that look like that and you don't just embody itching powder on the ears for your entire personality, like, God bless you. I say that from a completely non-religious standpoint. I mean it wholly. Like, whatever God that you believe in, if it's Gaia, if it is the whole, it's what is it called? It's like the Buddhist one thing. I think it starts with a fuck, I've forgotten it. But whatever all-powerful oneness being, Sky Daddy that you believe in, bless you. But if this pisses you off, it likely means that that's you. And not a fan. All I'm asking for is behavior changes. Right? If that behavior is your entire being, your entire presence, that's a problem. You've allowed it to become that way. We've allowed people's acceptance of you to shape you into something that is just what is your worst qualities. There's so much more that could be interesting than just the embodiment of somebody sexually oppressed. The only thing that you're oppressed by is the amount of sexual partners in your past. Let's be real. Maybe an STD. Have you ever considered that, like, maybe, long-term relationships are cool? The hookup culture is also bad for gay people. Maybe. I don't know. All I see is a product of bad decisions. A long string of poorly made decisions that were never admitted to be so. It was just life experience. It was just having fun. It was just that one time, 12 times over in a year. Do you even like men? You just like the idea of liking men. Especially this phenotype. They talk about so much like toxic males. Can't you just be more like yourself? And it's like, just remove, it's like them saying being yourself is like, oh, hey, just remove that filter in front of you that makes you a decent person. Like, everything irritating that you might otherwise say that would turn people off, just say that that's their problem and they need to accept you. But guess what? It doesn't work for everybody. They don't have some fallback trump card. They actually have to have a personality underneath it all. This has been stewing in my brain for ages. I don't like it. Mostly just this idea. The fact that it takes up so much of my brain space. That's really what their goal was. It's irritating. The fact that it does take up so much brain space. The fact that the strategy worked. And the fact that they'll continue to be irritating. And the fact that I will continue to be in the wrong because instead of taking the time to structure a valid criticism, I am 10 years too early to do that. So, the sociological argument, yeah, that's the right term. Sociological arguments to be made for why this behavior is self-destructive have not been made yet. I tried looking into it. Getting a call. Hang on. But yeah, the arguments have not been made yet for a very strong case of that sort. The data will not be in for a while because we are still restricting the kind of research that we can do. Like the absolute lack of understanding that we have about sexuality and the absolute amount of just research, if you can call it that, that just basically props up the virtues of being accepting of irritants is absurd. When you have a tumor, does your doctor say, deal with it? Or do they get you a fucking appointment with the surgeon, try to figure out what's wrong, at least give you an MRI? Back when I made my video on the main channel about gay people, the gay community, back when I made that video, it was not, it was still very unacceptable to have such a milquetoast view. And I caught a lot of flack for that. Fairly so. Wait, why did I say that? No. It makes sense. I wouldn't say it's fair, but it makes sense. You know? The milieu has not been a proper milieu for that at the time. There was not. My bad. Breaking up. English is getting bad. And now, I see tons of videos on the exact same subject, and people are finally getting the point. But now, where I want to bring it to is to the individual level. At some point, I may make like a full-form content posted on the main channel, but let's bring it to the individual. You're not irritating because you're gay. It may be very likely that you're irritated, that you're gay because you're irritating. Have you ever considered that? Right? The demographic for the gay community is very attractive to people who just do not like to be liked. Who like to be validated for being a nuisance. You cannot escape judgment for your behavior. And let's take away the label for a second. Let's take away the whole 2S LGBTQIAS plus label. And let's say you're an irritating person. People do not like to be around you. The only people you can make friends with are other irritating people. Where do you think your life is going to go with that? Nowhere good. No, we're good. Somewhere, some way, you will be held accountable for your behavior. It's not intentionally malicious. No. It's just unconsciously irritating. We had checks and balances. This is why we had bullying. But the bring back bullying thing also does not work. Because then we bully them for being gay. No. We don't even need to bully them. Just like a general, like, dude, can you just shut the fuck up? You know, you really push it too far sometimes. People really don't appreciate when you're weird like that. Can you not? Like, I get it, you haven't developed properly, but now's the time. You dig? Right, because then if that happened, right, if you took the irritation out of the homosexuality, what do you get? You get dudes that like dudes. And then suddenly, they can find other men and not this freakish, like, annoying woman in a middle-aged, overweight, fat dude's body that wears makeup and just thinks about sex 24/7. It's some, like, sort of validation fetish. Oh my god. Obviously, I'm not talking about everybody. But I'm sure that everybody knows the type of person that I'm talking about. We know one of them, one or two, maybe 5 or 6. Even if you don't associate with gay people, you probably know of plenty. It's not a new phenomenon. Those are the kind of individuals that make gay people ashamed to be part of the community. And I'm seeing a lot more of that on the internet. Is like, they're focusing it at pride. Pride parades, the whole concept of pride. They're like, I don't like being associated with that. But no, it's really the irritating people. The people that are fucking assholes. No, not assholes. They're bitches. That's a better term for it. They're irritated with the people that are irritating. Those that just walk all over common decency in the most implicit way imaginable. It's irritating because you can't point it out. It's like passive aggressive. The types of people that you can't point out why they're wrong for behaving in a certain way. Otherwise, they'll just get mad and say that you don't actually have an argument. Oh, you don't know what's going on inside of my head. Not much. Because it all came out your mouth. Didn't anybody tell you to think before you spoke? Faggot. Oh, I hesitated so much on that. It came out bad. Let me retry that. Didn't anybody teach you how to... See this? This is a dejected look of failure. Didn't anybody teach you to think before you spoke, you faggot? How's that? Yes, I can say the word. Look at me. Look at me. Faggot. If any of my videos are going to get removed by YouTube, it's going to be this one. And I will report them for violating a prominent gay man's position. Whoa! Hang on! Oh! I'm gonna chip my tooth on this microphone one of these days. Goddamn. Okay. Sorry, guys. When I talk about controversial topics, I get more fired up. I get this energy. And when I bring a certain type of energy, it radiates to the viewers. You know, that's what people really watch YouTube for. When I'm just like idling, the people idle and they don't want to idle. They want to have some sort of emotional engagement at least. So, maybe we're doing more controversial topics. You know what? Comment something that I should look into that would really irritate me. Yeah, that's where we get good content from. Thank you guys. Till next time, my fags and females. Goodbye.